listening to NOAA Weather Radio, station KHB49, broadcasting on a frequency of 162.40 MHz. This broadcast originates from the National Weather Service Office located in Monterey, California, and serves the North Bay, East Bay, and the Peninsula, including the cities of San Francisco and Oakland. Sunrise, sunset, and tidal information for the San Francisco Bay Area for Wednesday, August 5. The sunrise today, 6:16 a.m. The sunset tonight, 8:15 p.m. Tidal data at the Golden Gate for today. High tide, 5:14 a.m. at 3.90 feet. Low tide, 10:10 a.m. at 2.20 feet. High tide, 05:04 p.m. at 6 feet. Here are the buoy observations for 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At offshore buoy 6 winds at knots, pressure 1020.8 millibars. At offshore buoy 59 winds north at 16 knots, water temperature 65, pressure 1016.5 millibars. At buoy 14 near Point Arena winds south at 14 knots, water temperature 61, pressure 1012.6 millibars. At buoy 13 near Bodega Bay winds east at 2 knots, pressure 1012.5 millibars. At San Francisco buoy winds south at 6 knots, swell 3 feet every 8 seconds. At Monterey buoy wind southeast at 8 knots, water temperature 62, pressure 1012.6 millibars. At Cape San Martin buoy wind south at 2 knots, water temperature 58, pressure 1013.1 millibars. Synopsis for the Central California coast and bays including the Monterey Bay, Greater Farallones, and Cordell Bank National Marine Sanctuaries. Stationary and weak surface low pressure will remain over the coastal waters today through Thursday morning before dissipating. This low will combine with generally onshore breezes including more locally gusty winds across the San Francisco Bay and the Delta. After the low dissipates Thursday, onshore breezes will continue later in the week and over the weekend. Northwest winds will begin to increase out over the northern coastal waters during the weekend, resulting in building seas and hazardous conditions for small craft. The marine forecast for San Pablo Bay, Suisun Bay, the West Delta, and the San Francisco Bay north of the Bay Bridge. For today, southwest wind 10 to 20 knots, with a few gusts to 25 knots possible. For tonight, southwest wind 10 to 15 knots, easing to 5 to 10 knots after midnight. For Thursday, southwest wind 5 to 10 knots, rising to 10 to 15 knots in the afternoon. The coastal waters forecast from Point Reyes to Pigeon Point out to 10 nautical miles. For today, south wind 5 to 10 knots, seas around 3 feet. Wave detail, west 3 feet at 8 seconds and southwest 2 feet at 13 seconds. For tonight, southwest wind around 5 knots, seas around 3 feet. Wave detail, northwest 3 feet at 9 seconds. Patchy dense fog. For Thursday, southwest wind around 5 knots, seas around 3 feet. Wave detail, northwest 2 feet at 8 seconds. Patchy fog in the morning. These are the 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time observations for the San Francisco and Monterey Bay areas on Wednesday, August 5th. At San Francisco Airport, it was mostly cloudy, temperature 59, dew point 54, relative humidity 83%, northwest wind at 3 miles an hour, pressure 29.90 inches and rising. At Oakland Airport, it was cloudy, temperature 61, dew point 57, relative humidity 87%, northwest wind at 6 miles an hour, pressure 29.90 inches and rising. At San Jose Airport, it was partly cloudy, temperature 60, dew point 55, relative humidity 83%, south wind at 6 miles an hour, pressure 29.90 inches and rising. At Santa Rosa, smoke was reported, temperature 58, west wind at 5, pressure 29.91 and rising. At Concord, it was mostly cloudy, temperature 60, west wind at 7. At Livermore, it was mostly cloudy, temperature 59, calm. At Monterey, it was cloudy, temperature 57, calm, pressure 29.92 and rising. At Salinas, it was cloudy, temperature 59, dew point 55, relative humidity 87%, south wind at 6. Here are some observations around California and western Nevada. It was clear, with a temperature of 60 at Sacramento, 41 at South Lake Tahoe, 69 at Blue Canyon, and 55 at Mammoth Lakes. It was partly cloudy, with a temperature of 68 at Reno, and 45 at Truckee. It was cloudy, with a temperature of 68 at Los Angeles, and 71 at San Diego. Local temperature reports around San Francisco Bay for 7 a.m. Downtown San Francisco was 59 degrees. Oakland Museum was 61 degrees. Redwood City was 63 degrees. San Rafael was 58 degrees. The area forecast for the peninsula, North Bay, and East Bay. For today, partly cloudy in the morning, then becoming mostly sunny. Highs around 70 at the coast to the lower 90s inland. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, mostly clear until midnight, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows from the 50s to lower 60s. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And on Thursday, partly cloudy in the morning, then becoming mostly sunny. Highs around 70 at the coast to the mid-90s inland. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Thursday night, mostly clear until midnight, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows from the 50s to lower 60s. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Friday, partly cloudy in the morning, then becoming sunny. Highs in the lower 70s at the coast to the upper 90s inland. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, and on Friday night, mostly clear. Lows from the mid-50s to lower 60s Saturday through Sunday night, mostly clear. Highs from the mid-70s to lower 90s, lows from the 50s to mid-60s Monday and Monday night, mostly clear. Highs from the upper 60s to lower 80s, lows from the mid-50s to lower 60s Tuesday, partly cloudy. Highs from the mid-60s to lower 80s, high temperatures today and lows tonight for these selected cities: San Francisco, 70 and 57, San Francisco Airport, 76 and 59, Redwood City, 85 and 59, Oakland, 76 and 58, Fremont, 82 and 60, Concord, 91 and 59, Livermore, 93 and 59, San Rafael, 81 and 56, Santa Rosa, 85 and 49, Napa, 81 and 54, Fairfield, 88 and 59. The area forecast for the South Bay, including the San Jose metro area and the Santa Clara Valley. For today, mostly sunny in the morning, then becoming sunny. Highs in the upper 70s by the bay to the lower 90s inland. South winds up to 5 miles per hour, becoming northwest in the afternoon. For tonight, clear until midnight, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows from the mid-50s to lower 60s. Northwest winds up to 5 miles per hour. And on Thursday, partly cloudy in the morning, then becoming mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 70s by the bay, lower to mid-90s inland. Light winds, becoming west 5 to 10 miles per hour in the afternoon. For Thursday night, clear. Lows from the mid-50s to lower 60s. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Friday, mostly sunny in the morning, then becoming sunny. Highs in the lower 80s by the bay, mid to upper 90s inland. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, and on Friday night, clear. Lows from the upper 50s to mid-60s for Saturday. Mostly sunny in the morning, then becoming sunny. Highs mid-80s to 100. For Saturday night, clear. Lows from the 50s to upper 60s Sunday and Sunday night, mostly clear. Highs 80s and 90s, lows from the 50s to mid-60s Monday through Tuesday, mostly clear. Highs from the upper 70s to lower 90s, lows from the mid-50s to lower 60s, high temperatures today and lows tonight for these selected cities: San Jose, 85 and 60, Mountain View, 78 and 59, Morgan Hill, 91 and 58. The weather overview for the Bay Area and Central Coast: elevated fire weather threat across the interior North and East Bays, and the Diablo and Santa Lucia ranges through midweek. Widespread moderate heat risk returns for the end of the work week. Critical fire weather conditions develop Friday and Saturday. The extended forecast for the Bay Area and Central Coast: Saturday and Saturday night, mostly clear. Highs 70 to 100. Lows 50 to 80. Sunday and Sunday night, mostly clear. Highs 70 to 100. Lows 50 to 70. Monday and Monday night, mostly clear. Highs 65 to 95. Lows 50 to 65. Tuesday and Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Patchy fog after midnight. Highs 65 to 90. Lows 50 to 65. Wednesday and Wednesday night, partly cloudy. Highs 60 to 90.